The lives of nearly 24 children in Hennepin County will be forever changed this month thanks to the actions of 13 loving families.
And the adoptive parents are the ones who are making a permanent, lifelong connection, legal connection to these kids, saying that they're going to be their families forever, which is amazing. And I can't state enough how grateful we are to those folks and how much they're needed in our community.
Melissa Sherlock is Hennepin County's program manager for foster care and adoption. She says that 21 children will find a loving home during National Adoption Month in November, including these 2 kids who were adopted by their grandmother, Brooklyn Park resident Cherise Turner. County officials say more than 68% of adoptions in 2020 have involved family members, friends, or others whom the children already know.
Kids who have to be removed from their homes, their parents, that's a traumatizing experience for them. They end up losing their parents and their house, sometimes their pets and their siblings, their belongings, their school, their friends. And so we really find that if they go to a place where they're familiar with that person, that reduces their trauma through that move. It doesn't eliminate it, but it reduces it. And so we've really been working on our efforts to get relatives involved and to get kids with relatives whenever we can.
Through October, there have been 146 completed adoptions in Hennepin County, compared to 172 during the same time period last year. To find out more about foster care and adoption in Hennepin County, you can find a link on our website at ccxmedia.org.
Where I lived was unstable and not conducive to my growth or quality of life as an individual.
At 18 years old, Rosie Benzer packed up her bags and left home. She hadn't finished high school yet and couldn't find a stable place to live until she met Mike and John.
And when I lived with them, we did family dinners once a week. We would share media that we liked. Like every week we'd pick like a movie that I really liked or that they really liked. We would go out and do activities together.
Benzer met the couple through ConneQT, a program of Minneapolis nonprofit Avenues for Youth. ConneQT provides host homes for LGBTQ youths experiencing homelessness. Many of the hosts in previous years have been from the Northwest Metro.
Folks in the LGBTQ community recognized there was an overrepresentation of LGBTQ youth within the shelter system. And a lot of these young folks were identifying discrimination, violence, and harassment based off of their sexual orientation or gender identity.
Ryan Berg, the ConneQT program manager, is asking community members to open up their homes. He says every night in Minnesota, 6,000 youth experience homelessness and a large number identify as LGBTQ.
Within the LGBT community, the most dominant narrative is one of family rejection. And that's a very real and painful reality for some young folks, but it isn't the whole story.
Benzer says she wouldn't be where she is today without her hosts, who she considers family.
Having the stability of a host home and 2 caring adults in my life, I was able to graduate high school, enroll in college, and stabilize my mental health and really start to work on the goals that I had for myself that I didn't know that I had yet.
Now, Benzer is a staff member at Avenues for Youth and is currently working on her PhD. She hopes to help young people with a similar experience.
So I hope to be that person for the young people we work with.
Pafua Yang, CCX News.
A Plymouth-based organization that typically holds a yearly coat donation event is now looking for other avenues to distribute kids' coats due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
In the beginning, we gave away maybe 300 coats a year, and we went from giving 300 coats a year to giving 700 coats a year.
Co-founders Danielle Igbanagu and Valerie Gilbert started Coated in Love 10 years ago. The goal this year is to give out 1,000 coats. The group received an additional $10,000 in donations and plans to buy more children's coats. Typically, they would distribute the winter gear at a community center, but COVID-19 wouldn't allow that to happen. Now the organization is working with community leaders to do drive-through pickup services. Danielle says the coats are badly needed because so many people are out of work and struggling.
This is the year people were going to need us most. With COVID, families whose parents lost their job or parent lost the job, there was a huge need for it. So I reached out to sponsors and they came through.
Sonia Goins, CCX News.
This year for the Plymouth Arts Festival, you don't need to come to the Plymouth Creek Center. You just have to come here.
So this year, for the first time, we're doing an online art fair. Normally we have it over the course of a 2-day weekend event prior to Thanksgiving weekend. This year we're going to be hosting it online.
The online art fair comes right when you may be starting to do some early Christmas shopping.
The community will be able to purchase directly from the artist. We'll have links to all of the artist websites, along with information on their work. Our community members will work directly with the artist to purchase and pick up their work.
And don't miss the artist talks and demonstrations. They're near the bottom as you scroll down the page.
Some are providing demonstrations on art that you can do from home. Others will be showing how they create the process of their work and a little bit more on their backstories on how they got started as artists.
Another plus is that all of this information and opportunity will run much longer than the in-person 2-day event.
It runs for about 3 weeks until Friday, December 11th.
The website is up and running now. We'll have links to it on ccxmedia.org. In Plymouth, Neil Persley, CCX News.
The high school football season wrapped up Friday with one final night of play before new COVID-19 restrictions shut sports down. Jay Wilcox reports on Cooper's game.
Willie Howard and the Cooper Hawks looking to close the football season with a win against Minneapolis Southwest in the Section 5 5A playoffs. Joe Russell throws to the end zone. David Connors with the catch and gets his foot in for a 6-0 lead. Later in the first quarter, Russell throws a strike down the seam to Dante Williams for a 36-yard score. Cooper leads at 13-0 after a quarter. After the teams trade touchdowns, Jaden Reed of Southwest looks deep to Charlie Boucher for the score. After a slow start, the Lakers are within 19-13 at halftime. Third quarter, and Camden Royal zips in for the easy 1-yard TD run for Cooper. It's 25-13 Hawks. Back comes Southwest. Nick Flaskamp on the direct snap sweeps left and gets to the end zone along the sideline. The Lakers are back within 25-19. The fireworks continue. Russell swings it out in the flat to Williams, and he turns a good gainer into a huge play. Williams gets some blocks, and this becomes a 63-yard touchdown. Cooper adds one more score in the fourth as they finish 4-3 after a 39-19 win over Southwest. Jay Wilcox, CCX Sports.
Like Cooper, the Breck football team was looking to end their shortened playoff season with a win at home.
Breck football at home to face Lake City in the lone Section 4 3A playoff game for both teams. Third quarter, and Breck quarterback Charlie Ricks launches a ball deep down the sideline. Jack McKenna is behind the defender and scores. It's a 49-yard touchdown, and the Mustangs lead 21-0. The Tigers score later in the third. Carter Hagedorn throws to Carson Matsky in the corner of the end zone. Lake City cuts the Mustangs lead to 21-6. Back comes Breck. Watch the little jump pass here from Ricks to McKenna. McKenna breaks a couple of tackles, and then he is gone. It's a 44-yard touchdown, and the Mustangs lead 28-6. And they add one more score before the end of the quarter. Ricks tosses his 5th touchdown pass of the night, this one to Carter Tyson for the score. Breck wins 35-21 and finishes the season with a 6-1 record.
While the high school volleyball season also was forced to end early, it was a fun last couple of days for the top 2 teams in Section 5 3A. Jason Malillo has more on Wayzata and Maple Grove.
The undefeated Maple Grove volleyball team hosting undefeated Wayzata in the championship of their end-of-the-year tournament. The Crimson trying to battle back from a 2-set deficit. Sophomore Madeline Knutson bangs the big kill. And then Megan Liu gets the block, and it's 13-all. Wayzata freshman Olivia Swenson fires back with a kill for the Trojans. A great point here is Jaden Mueller digs it up for the Crimson, and then Swenson and Emma Gorger win the free ball at the net for a 23-18 Wayzata lead. MG hangs tough. Liu back set for Knutson, and she delivers again. But on match point, Stella Swenson dumps it over for the kill, and Wayzata gets the sweep, capping a very emotional season.
This section tournament just came up in like the last 48 hours, and we were all just so sad but so excited to get to finish our season in this way. I mean, we're losing 3 amazing seniors this year, and we love them all so dearly. And it's sad, but it's also, we're super excited to have this opportunity and get to win this game against a really good competition.
Thanks, Jason. And stay tuned to CCX and ccxmedia.org for the latest on the upcoming winter season. That's all for sports. I'm John Jacobson.